Listen to me. You owe it to yourself. Not your mom, not your coach, not your boss. You owe it to you. Some of you out there, you've been showing up for everybody else, but you stopped showing up for you. You'll sacrifice your dreams for a job that doesn't love you back. You'll pour your energy into people who wouldn't cross the street for you. And you're sitting there wondering why you feel empty inside. Let me tell you something. You were not born to live average. You were not put on this earth to just survive. You were designed to dominate. You were created to chase purpose, to break cycles, to rewrite the story your family has been stuck in for generations. So don't you dare quit now. Don't you dare settle. Because if you don't do it, nobody's coming to do it for you. Stay with me for these next few minutes because I'm going to break down 6 truths that will change the way you look at yourself, your grind, and your life. This ain't motivation. This is transformation. Let's get it. Listen to me. Stop apologizing for wanting more out of life. Stop shrinking yourself so other people can feel comfortable around you. Stop pretending you're satisfied when deep down you know there's more in you. Too many of you are dimming your light because the people around you can't handle your brightness. But here's the truth. You weren't designed to fit in. You were created to stand out. When you start wanting more success, more growth, more peace, more purpose, people are going to talk. They're going to say, you've changed. They're going to say, you're different now. And you know what? They're right. You are different because you made a decision to evolve. Growth is not a betrayal. It's not disloyalty. It's maturity. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man I met in Detroit, came from a rough neighborhood, single mother, working 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. This young man told me, I started cutting off some of my friends because they weren't going anywhere. Now they say I'm acting brand new. I looked him in his eyes and said, you are brand new. You're supposed to be. You're trying to build something they can't even see yet. See, people who've given up on their dreams will always have something to say about yours. They'll tell you to slow down, to be realistic, to stay humble. But what they really mean is, don't leave me behind. You can't let someone else's fear of flying keep you grounded. You owe it to yourself to want more, to do more, to be more. And let me make this clear. Wanting more doesn't mean you're ungrateful. You can appreciate where you are and still hunger for more. Gratitude and ambition can coexist. You can thank God for what you have while believing He's got something even greater for you. I remember when I started speaking, people said, just be thankful for what you've got. You're already doing better than most. But I knew there was another level. I didn't want to just speak. I wanted to impact. I wanted to touch lives, change hearts, build leaders. And if I had listened to them, I'd still be talking small in small rooms with small dreams. So I'm asking you, what are you apologizing for? For dreaming big? For wanting to be financially free? For wanting your family to have better? For wanting peace in your spirit? Stop saying sorry for wanting more. Start saying thank you for realizing you deserve it. You've got to give yourself permission to grow beyond the version of you that other people are comfortable with. Stop shrinking to fit inside spaces you've already outgrown. You owe it to yourself to step into the fullness of your potential. Because here's the reality, the world doesn't need a smaller version of you. It needs the real you, bold, hungry, unapologetic. So don't apologize for wanting more. Go out and get it. Listen to me. Everybody wants to be powerful, but nobody wants to go through the pain that produces power. You can't pray for strength and expect an easy life. Strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from struggle. It comes from the moments when life hits you so hard, you've got 2 choices. Stay down or get back up and fight again. Let me tell you something. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is a messenger. Pain is a signal that something inside of you needs to grow. But most people run from it. Most people numb it, hide it, bury it under distractions. The problem is when you run from pain, you also run from your potential. You owe it to yourself to stop running and start learning from it. I remember a woman I met at one of my events, a single mother working double shifts at a hospital, trying to raise 2 kids on her own. She said, E, I'm so tired. Every day I feel like I'm breaking. I looked at her and said, you're not breaking, you're becoming. You see, pain will either destroy you or develop you, and the difference is your mindset. She started shifting her perspective. She stopped saying, why me? And started saying, try me. 2 years later, that same woman came back, not as an attendee, but as a speaker. She told a story of struggle, of sleepless nights, of crying in a car before every shift. She said, my pain used to hurt me. Now it fuels me. That's what I mean when I say turn your pain into power. Some of you are sitting on a story that could change lives, but you're too ashamed of it. You're too busy hiding your scars when you should be showing them off as proof that you survived. The things that once broke you, the heartbreak, the rejection, the failures, those are the same things that qualify you to help somebody else. I know what it's like to hurt. I know what it's like to feel abandoned, to feel forgotten, to wonder if it's even worth it. When I was homeless, sleeping in abandoned buildings, I didn't see power. I saw pain. I saw disappointment. But every cold night, every tear, every lonely moment, it was building something in me. It was teaching me how to endure. It was teaching me that no matter what happens, I can't quit. That's what pain does. It teaches you your own strength. It exposes what you're really made of. You'll never know your power until you face something that tried to break you and you kept moving anyway. So here's my message to you. Stop cursing your pain and start using it. Use it as fuel. Use it as focus. Use it as fire. Let it push you to become everything you were meant to be. Don't let your pain define you. Let it refine you. You owe it to yourself and to everyone watching you to turn every ounce of your struggle into strength. Because one day somebody will look at your story and say, if they made it, maybe I can too. That's power. That's purpose. That's growth. Everybody wants to be successful, but wanting it isn't enough. You can't wish your way to greatness. You got to work your way there. I hear people say all the time, I want to be rich. I want to be great. I want to be free. But when I look at their habits, their discipline, their grind, I don't see want to. I see wishful thinking. You can't say you want success and keep hitting snooze. You can't say you want to win and still take days off from your dream. Listen to me, the universe doesn't respond to want. It responds to work. You can pray for it, you can hope for it, but until you roll up your sleeves and grind, it's just talk. You've got to put in those long nights, those early mornings, those uncomfortable moments when nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, nobody's encouraging you, but you're still putting in the work. I remember when I was homeless, sleeping in abandoned buildings, no money, no plan, no backup. All I had was a dream, but that dream didn't move until I did. I had to make a decision, either keep wishing for a better life or start working for one. I woke up every day saying, E, you owe it to yourself to get up and grind. I didn't wait for motivation. I created momentum through movement. See, people want the results, but they don't want the process. They want the trophy, but they don't want the training. You say you want success, but are you willing to stay up when everyone else is sleeping? Are you willing to read when everyone else is scrolling? Are you willing to work when nobody believes in you yet? Because that's what separates the average from the elite. Let me tell you about a young man named Chris. Chris was a college athlete, talented but lazy. He had the skills, but not the discipline. His coach told him, talent will get you noticed, but work ethic will keep you there. One day, Chris got benched. Instead of quitting, he started waking up at 4:30 every morning to train. Rain, snow, didn't matter. He was on that field alone, working. That same season, he became team captain. Not because he was the fastest or strongest, but because he outworked everyone else. That's the formula. Outwork them, outlast them, outbelieve them. Because talent without grind is wasted potential. And let me tell you something. Life will not hand you your dream. It will test you to see if you're willing to fight for it. So stop talking about what you want and start showing it. Show it in your habits. Show it in your consistency. Show it in your discipline. Because when you work, the world notices. And remember this, the dream will cost you something. It'll cost you your comfort, your time, your energy, your excuses. But if you're willing to pay the price, the reward is freedom. Freedom to live on your terms, to be who you were meant to be. You owe it to yourself to stop wishing and start working. Because one day, that grind you're doing in private will pay off in public. And that's when you'll realize it was all worth it. Listen to me. One of the biggest killers of destiny in this generation isn't laziness or fear. It's comparison. You're not losing because you're not gifted. You're losing because you're too busy looking at somebody else's gift. You're scrolling through other people's highlights while ignoring your own progress. You're watching their blessing and missing yours. And that's why you're drained. That's why you're frustrated, because you can't run your race while staring into someone else's lane. Let me tell you something powerful. Your calling is custom built. Your journey was designed specifically for you. Your pain, your struggles, your victories, they all form the blueprint for your purpose. When you compare your path to somebody else's, you disrespect your own process. You're saying, what God gave me isn't enough. But hear me, it is enough if you stop trying to be somebody else and start being you. I remember a young athlete I coached back in the day. He was talented, but he spent more time watching other players than practicing his own game. One day he came to me and said, "Coach, I'll never be as good as him." I looked at him and said, "You're right, because you're not supposed to be him. You're supposed to be you." I told him, the moment you stop trying to be somebody else is the moment you'll start becoming who you were meant to be. 2 years later, that same athlete broke school records, not because he suddenly became better than everyone, but because he finally focused on his own lane. That's what happens when you stop comparing and start concentrating. See, comparison blinds you to your own growth. You'll start thinking you're behind when you're actually right on schedule. You'll start doubting your progress because someone else looks further ahead, but you don't know what it took for them to get there. You don't know the sacrifices, the failures, the nights they cried themselves to sleep. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. Your story is still being written. And let's be real, social media has made this worse. You're comparing your behind the scenes to somebody's highlight reel. You see the house, the car, the vacations, but you don't see the pain, the debt, the insecurity. You don't see the cost. And while you're envying them, you're robbing yourself of peace. You owe it to yourself to get off that screen and get back to your grind. I had to learn that lesson too. When I started as a motivational speaker, I used to look at other speakers getting bigger stages, more views, more exposure. I thought, why not me? But the moment I stopped chasing their success and focused on serving my audience, everything changed. My doors started opening, my platform grew, and my voice reached people I never imagined. Because when you walk in your lane, your gift makes room for you. So I need you to hear me clearly. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Did you grow? Did you improve? Did you give more effort? That's the competition that matters. Stop comparing and start becoming. Stop watching and start working. You owe it to yourself to master your own journey, to run your race, to chase your destiny with blinders on. Because comparison will steal your peace, but focus will build your future. Run your race, stay in your lane, and trust what's meant for you will never miss you. Listen to me, your future deserves your focus. But too many of you are stuck staring in the rearview mirror, crying over what's behind you. You're replaying the heartbreak, the failure, the disappointment, the people who walked away. And because you keep looking back, you can't see where you're going. You can't reach for what's ahead when both your hands are holding on to what's gone.
Hear me. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. What you went through might have shaped you, but it doesn't have to limit you. I know some of you are carrying guilt, regret, and shame from decisions you made years ago. But I need you to understand something. Every single thing you've been through was preparing you for what's next. Your pain wasn't punishment, it was positioning.
Let me tell you a story. I met a young woman who told me I can't move forward because I've messed up too much. She had dropped out of school, made mistakes, lost people she loved. She said, "I feel like my life is over." I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Your life isn't over. Your old chapter is. It's time to start a new one." I told her, "Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence." That young woman went back, got her GED, started working 2 jobs, and enrolled in college. She stopped replaying her pain and started rebuilding her purpose. A few years later, she was mentoring other women who were where she once was. That's what happens when you stop focusing on your past and start focusing on your future. Some of you have been living in rewind for too long. You're still angry at your parents, your ex, your boss, your failures. You're still beating yourself up for mistakes that don't even fit who you are anymore. Let it go. You cannot drive forward if you're staring in the rearview mirror. You'll crash every single time. Focus on what's in front of you. You've got dreams waiting for you, opportunities with your name on them, people who need what you carry, but they can't find you if you're stuck where you were. Every minute you spend reliving yesterday is a minute you're stealing from your tomorrow. I had to learn this the hard way. For years I blamed my past, the people who left me, the pain I grew up in, the mistakes I made. But one day I realized, nobody's coming to fix it. You either focus forward or you stay stuck. The day I shifted my focus was the day everything changed. Your future deserves your focus because your destiny is too big to be distracted by what's behind you. You've got to make peace with your past so you can make room for your promise. You've got to stop feeding your fears and start feeding your faith. The truth is your future is waiting, but it won't wait forever. Don't let your history hold your destiny hostage. Don't let what you've been through stop you from walking into what you're called to do. Lift your head, fix your eyes on what's next, and move forward, even if it's one step at a time, because your future deserves your focus, your energy, your passion, your fight. You owe it to yourself to move forward with everything you've got. Listen to me. Stop living for approval, for likes, for validation. Stop grinding just to prove something to people who don't even care. Do it for the person you're becoming. Do it for that version of you who's been fighting to come alive, who's been buried under fear, doubt, and excuses. Because every day you wake up and give less than your best, you're not cheating your boss, your coach, or your friends. You're cheating yourself. See, there's a future version of you waiting. The one who's disciplined, focused, confident, and unstoppable. That version of you is counting on the choices you make right now. Every rep you skip, every excuse you make, every time you choose comfort over commitment, you're pushing that person further away. But every time you show up, every time you grind when nobody's watching, every time you choose growth over fear, you're getting closer to becoming them. I remember talking to a young man after one of my events. He said, "Eric, I'm tired. I don't see results. I've been trying, but life keeps hitting me." I said, "Good. That means you're building something." He looked at me confused. I told him, the person you're becoming is being built right now, in the struggle, in the pain, in the waiting. I told him, don't quit now, because one day you're going to thank this version of you for not giving up. That young man went on to finish college, start a business, and now he mentors others. He said, "You were right. I became someone I didn't even recognize." But it started the moment I decided to stop doing it for approval and started doing it for me. Let me be real. The process of becoming is not easy. It's lonely. It's painful. You'll lose friends. You'll lose habits. You'll lose versions of yourself that no longer fit where you're going. But that's the price of transformation. You can't step into who you're becoming if you're still clinging to who you used to be. Some of you keep sabotaging your progress because you're still trying to please people who stopped believing in you a long time ago. Stop looking for their applause. They don't owe you validation, and you don't owe them your potential. You owe it to yourself to keep building, even when nobody notices. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize you were never working for them. You were working for you. When I was homeless, I didn't know who I'd become. I just knew I couldn't quit. I told myself, eat, keep going. The man you're becoming needs you to push through. And now standing here, I look back and thank that broken version of me, the one who kept grinding when there was no spotlight, no stage, no paycheck. That's what I want for you. Don't do it for the approval. Don't do it for the recognition. Do it because the best version of you deserves to see the light of day. Do it for the person who's counting on you to stay disciplined, to stay focused, to stay hungry. Because one day you'll look in the mirror and realize this is who I was fighting to become. And at that moment, every sacrifice, every tear, every sleepless night will make sense. You'll finally see that the pain wasn't breaking you, it was building you. So keep pushing, keep growing, keep showing up, because the person you're becoming is worth every single fight you face today. So hear me, you owe it to yourself to wake up every day with purpose. You owe it to yourself to fight through the fear, the fatigue, the failure. You owe it to yourself to show the world what happens when a person decides they're done settling for average. This is your time. This is your season. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. You owe it to yourself to be great. You owe it to yourself to live the life that was designed for you, not the one you were handed. So go out there, give it everything you've got, because at the end of the day, there's only one person you need to answer to, and that's you.